Welcome to the South Florida Saltwater Fishing Report. I'm Heath, and it's time to get into the bite. All right, folks, welcome to the show. This is South Florida's ultimate resource for everything local fishing. We're going to cover what's biting, who's catching it, where it's being caught. We're also going to go over the future marine forecast, your moon phase, and your tide charts. Everything you need to know to help keep you in the bite. All right, folks, so welcome to the show. Not much going on fishing wise lately because of the weather. We've had, some steady winds for weeks on end now. And, we had a small window of opportunity these last couple of days, and now the wind's going to pick up again. We've got a couple of cool fronts coming through. One due tomorrow, another one will come through on Friday. So our wind is going to pick up and, not be very favorable conditions, but it is what it is. If you got those small windows and you can get out, I say go do it. All right, so let's talk fishing, right? So we will get right into it. There's nothing from the FWC, no closures, no nothing. So we shall start. This says Inshore from Marlo Kennedy Aleva, or Ajeva, however you like to pronounce it. Nice little snook, inshore bite. Hey, cool. That means they're still around, Toss out some plastics or some, little live bait, whatever you got. Shrimp, I'm not sure what it hit, but hey, the snook are still around. I have seen some, some fair-sized snook being caught, so cool. Snook inshore, right? Also, at the time of year where the, if you haven't seen them running around yet, you're going to get bluefish and Spanish mackerel up on the beach. All right, so let's head off to the reef, right? We've got, let's see, Pedro and Anna. He went out today. Like I said, the window of opportunity exists. And he was getting on the mutton bite. They're still around. Pedro, came back from some business and got right back to business. And then here is Anna. She's showing him how to do it. Looks like hers is a little bit bigger. Anyway, so we'll keep moving on. A couple of nice mutton snapper right there. And so he was drifting in 150 feet. He actually sent a picture of all his catch, right? So let's take a look at this. We got the nice mutton snappers, porgy, yellowtail, nice strawberry grouper, and the keeper mahi. So what did Pedro say? Pedro says reef fishing mostly between 100 and 150, between Lake Worth. You're funny too much. Yeah, yes, it is. All right. Lake Worth to Jupiter. Sardines as bait. Yes, great bait for those muttons. Trolled on the way back from Juneau Ledge to Palm Beach Inlet. Few bonito, one mahi. The mahi are swimming around while they're drifting, but they're dinks. So yeah, that's the time of the year. The dolphin fishing is about ready to wrap up until next spring. I mean, dolphin are always around, but they're going to become scarce like keepers. So, hey, have fun with them. And, if you happen to run into them, hey, better for you. Anyway, let's get back to it. Neil Link, mahi, and porgies. Great. Thanks for the submission. This is our thumbnail of the week. It fit the size and it made for a great picture. Out on the boat, making some memories, bringing home some tacos and some of that reef chow. Good deal. So the reef, right? The reef is, we had dolphin. Dolphin are in shallow this time of year. Yes. Also, another fish that is going to be starting to fire up. This is Ace McKenzie. Nice sailfish right here. Not a little sailfish, but hey, they're still swimming around. The sailfish are going to start being around a lot. This is the time of year. It's going to be rough out there. Get your goggle eyes. You'll be able to troll them up. You'll be able to live bait them with a ballyhoo or whatever it is. They're going to start eating real good as they, travel through. So our reef, right? Mutton snappers, yellowtails, groupers still around while we're still able to get them. The dolphin are in shallow. And, that's par for the course for this time of year. Now, let's talk. Jason Reese did a solo tournament run this weekend out in some rough weather. He invited me, but I had some stuff going on. bunch of boats kite fishing. Yes, boats kite fishing. Yeah, you're going to see them, especially up where you were, Pedro. That's Sailfish Alley. Actually, it's a little south of you, more towards Boynton. But yeah, the sailfish, that's great sailfishing up there. Back to Jason Reese, right? Tournament time, right? Let's see what he got here. Zero mackerel, kingfish, mahi, and blackfin tuna, it looks like. So, man, that's a great haul, especially for a solo tournament run. Solo tournament runs are tough. It's hard to place unless you get the biggest fish in a particular category. But still, he had a great day regardless. I mean, too bad about the tournament, but hey, nice haul. Definitely, multiple species. Let's see. 4 keepers, undersized mahi and bonita. He's got a number 4 planer, trolling pink Islamorada flyer, mahi on pink tuna taco. So pink was the color that day, obviously. He did great. Like I said, tournament fishing is tough. It's tricky. Man, you can have a great year and all of a sudden the day of the tournament, your fishing is just, it's off. It's tough stuff. Here we go. Ed DeJesus. I don't want to butcher this. DeJesus. Nice haul right here. Bunch of dolphin and some skipjack tuna. Whole crew going on right here. Happy people, happy campers, happy kid. And, I guess that's their measuring stick right there. If the dolphin is as big as the kid, man, hey, perfect. They're in the bucket. Look like a little blackfin here. And that is a houndfish right over there. So that's either bait. I mean, you can eat them, but those fish tend to be a little wormy. I'm not sure. But, hey, nice solid haul right here, right? So, all right. So that's all we got for the fishing for right now, right? So let's talk, right? The reef. We've got snappers. The mutton snapper is still hanging around. You're just going to have to drift and drift for them. Long leaders, live bait if you got it. If not, sardines for me is always the choice for mutton snappers. That and 30-foot leader, 20-pound fluorocarbon. Get down there. Yellowtails, they're swimming around. Pedro was getting them in 100 feet. I tend to go 60 to 70 feet for yellowtails, but they're around. They're swimming around. The inshore bite is going to peter off as we move into winter. But like I said, right now, you're going to start seeing bluefish, small bluefish, not the giant ones from up north, smaller bluefish, and the Spanish mackerel will show up on shore. Just look for the pods of them, cast out. Crappie jigs work great, the little ones. You just put a trace of wire on them so you don't get nipped off, and you go forward with that. What else? So offshore on the deeper reef, right? We've got the football-sized blackfin tuna. The dolphin are still showing up, and you can run into them. Also with the blackfins, you're going to have mixed in of skipjack. Highly migratory species permit is $25 from NOAA. That lets you catch yellowfin and skipjack and keep them. And there's a whole convolution when it comes to that. So, what else? Oh, the sailfish, of course. Hey, sailfish are starting to show up. Deep dropping, rosies. Go get them. If nothing else is biting and you're out there, you got to head out 7-8 miles offshore, 800 feet, pound away at the rosies, fill up the cooler. You remember, rosies are all mouth and stomach and very little fillet. So you need a good amount of them. If you're getting the small ones, move, because they're all going to be small. They're kind of like that. Go find big ones. What else? Also, vermilion snapper. They're a year-round thing. So if you can find them, go get on them. All right. So that's what we got for fishing. Like I said, it's been a rough several weeks now with the wind, right? So let's talk wind. Like I said, we've got a couple of cold fronts that are going to come through. Not cold fronts, cool fronts. They're going to get us down to the low 80s during the day. One is going to push through tomorrow. The next one will push through Friday, and it'll make it for a nice weekend. But again, it's going to be windy, right? Yesterday and today was like your window of opportunity. As you can see, this is right now current. We're pushing into teens steady, okay? Tomorrow, it's not going to get much better. As you see, the front's going to push through. We're going to have winds that are, offshore, way offshore, in the 20s. In the afternoon, it gets closer to land. So as night comes, it's obviously going to be, really kicking it up. Thursday, it'll kind of let up and we'll start getting a little bit of a southeasterly flow. We probably will have a northeast swell from these from the front. Thursday afternoon looks like it might lay down a bit, but like I said, this happens. The phenomenon, the ocean does not settle down as soon as the wind does, right? Once your waves are picked up, it's picked up. So here again, now you can see this front on Friday starting to push down from the north. Friday afternoon, it's still coming. Right? So nothing pleasant. Also, we have a disturbance down here. Now, don't go by this. They don't know if it's going to develop like this just yet, but they have said down here in this area is an 80% chance of development over the next several days into the weekend. Some forecast models have it going into South America. Some forecast models have it traveling up this way. Some forecasts show it going that way. So it's way too early to tell still, but there is something going on down there that will likely develop. And so hurricane season, carries on. Saturday, again, northeast, right after the front. We'll have that northeast swell develop, winds in the mid-teens. Same thing Saturday afternoon, heading into Sunday. A little bit lighter winds coming from the northeast, but still, 10 to 15 miles an hour. Same thing, more up north, a little bit more subdued. On the west coast, you've got the westerly winds, right? The weather early into next week, offshore up north, Orlando area is not bad. Port St. Lucie, Vero Beach, looks like you'll be getting laid down a little bit, but the Tri-County area south all the way down into the Keys is, still got some wind ripping. Heading into Monday afternoon, the wind lays down a little bit. Let's see what happens Tuesday. So mid next week, again, we will have another window of opportunity. It's not going to be dead flat, but you will have some opportunity to get out there and hopefully get offshore come Wednesday. Obviously, they're saying here's what. Don't go by windy right now with this. I don't. There's no way they can tell that that's going to happen. So that's just a guess of it. All right, where are we? Okay, so that's that, right? So let's go back and look at what our waves are going to do, right? So this is tomorrow. Tomorrow we got inshore. We're looking at 2 to 4 foot seas. And as, night comes, here comes that huge northeast swell again, with the big 6 foot to 8 foot swells going on. Thursday, it's still hanging out, Vero Beach to Palm Beach County. South is, even Biscayne Bay is, looking a little rough. Obviously, Everglades National Park, 10,000 islands and all that stuff. Tampa Bay, they're getting it. They're on the leeward side of the island, so they have the whole protection of the peninsula. But it's going to be windy. So Thursday afternoon, that swell kind of lets go of its grip a little bit, but it's still going to be, won't be out there. Friday, the swell's still hanging out offshore. The Everglades National Park is looking nice. Lower Keys actually look like they might have a little bit of a break inshore. Not too far offshore. Not bad. 2 foot seas, 2 to 3 maybe out there. So, the lower Keys and middle Keys look like it might actually be doable come Friday. Saturday, again, the swell is still hanging around. It's making up its mind. Can't make up its mind, actually, whether or not it wants to push further south into Palm Beach County and down towards Fort Lauderdale. Saturday, there it goes. Now it's really coming. Again, Friday night, the front pulls through, and that's what's going to push this swell down further. And again, we'll have drier air. So not much rain going on, but again, wind. Now you can see the swell has pushed its way down. These are 6 to 8 foot seas. Coming into Sunday, it'll start letting up, but it's still giant, and that's going to make hazardous conditions for getting in and out of your inlets. The West Coast still looking fairly decent, but that's inshore and state waters. Even down here, you can see Everglades National Park has started to pick up a little bit. So that's what we're looking at. Monday, not bad. It'll lessen up as we head into Tuesday, probably. Monday, we're looking at 2 to 4 Tri-County area up into Vero Beach, all the same, right? Even down into the lower Keys on the West Coast, still a little protected in those shallow areas. Monday afternoon, same story. Tuesday, again, this is might be our window of opportunity. You're looking at 2 to 3 foot seas, Palm Beach up towards Vero, right? So Tuesday is looking like the window of opportunity into Wednesday. So mid next week, again, same thing as what we had this week. It's just a day later and $1 short. All right, let's go back to tomorrow and look at our rain. Like I said, not much moisture in here. We've got a ton of dry air, but a lot of wind, right? So this tomorrow, Thursday, like I said, it's very dry air with these fronts pushing through. So there's nothing. This is Friday afternoon, Saturday. As you can see, we got a very dry sky going on right now. So very little chance of rain. Well, let's see what happens early in the next week. This is Monday, still very dry, right? So 10% chance of rain. Like I said, if anything, don't pay attention to that. That's the prediction for that storm. We'll see what happens with that come late next week. So next week's report on Tuesday, we shall probably have some more clarification of what's going to happen with that disturbance that is forming down south of Cuba. Okay, so that's windy. All right, let's go to WindFINDER, which is our numerical chart for what we just went over. All right, here we go. Bring it up real quick and keep moving on with life, right? Like I said, these reports are, rather short right now because there's not a lot going on. That's the time of year. And as the weather starts to cut us a break, we will get more pictures and more to share. All right, so tomorrow, right? Northeast winds starting to gust. Again, we've got that front, the cool front's going to push through tomorrow. We've got 4 foot seas starting out in the morning, pushing up to 6 to 8 as the afternoon. Northeast swell, and you got a 6 to 7 second period. It was easier, further apart today. Tomorrow it starts pushing closer simply because of the front coming through. And then as the week goes on, the swell will probably get further apart. Let's look. All right, winds start blowing from the east come Thursday. Friday, you can see the direction shift as the front pulls through in the middle of the day. Our winds kind of let down as we head into nightfall Thursday, and they kind of give you a break on Friday, okay? But again, your seas are up and down. You've got this swell that's going to start developing from the northeast. Friday, it looks like a 4 foot, 2 to 4, larger than 4 foot swell, but you've got these long breaks in between them. An 11-second period at a 4 foot wave. That wave is literally nothing. You've just got to time it going in and out of your inlets. You don't want to get caught in between a set of waves as you are entering or exiting the inlet. That can make for bad news. All right, Saturday, northeast winds on Sunday, 18 to 20 miles an hour, gusts 15 to 16, right? So there's a small window of opportunity, probably Friday, if you're willing to get out and get on that swell. Come the weekend, we've still got a swell, but it's going to pick up a little bit, 4 to 6 foot swell. And again, there's a long period in between them. So it all depends upon, how sporty are you willing, how much, risk versus reward when it comes to that, right? Now, what we were talking about is next week early, it looked a little bit more promising on windy versus Saturday and Sunday with these giant swells coming in, much less Friday, which looks like, the easiest going of the day before the front comes in. All right, Monday, gusting 20 mid-teens, steady mid-teens. Tuesday, same thing, mid-teens, pushing up as we head into Wednesday also, which looks like we're going to get some wind from the southeast and the south and southeast into next Wednesday. And that's when it looks like early in the day that the rain will return. Not much other than, some clouds in the sky and breezes going on. So that's what we're looking at, folks, for our weather. Let's take a look, see what NOAA is going to say, see if they got anything promising, which they will probably not. But it's worth taking a peek at. Now, right now, we got small craft advisory in effect. Of course we do. Wednesday, northeast winds 20 to 25 knots. Like I said, that's we're going to have front push through. 7-foot seas, 6-second period. Thursday, 15 to 20 knots, slowing down to 10 to 15 in the afternoon. So as we said, they're kind of agreeing with what we just saw from WindFinder, that Friday might be a window of opportunity with it being a swell. 8-foot, 4 to 6 foot seas, occasionally 8-foot, 7 to 8-second period. Friday, north winds 5 to 10 knots, increasing later in the afternoon. Seas 2 to 4 feet. Northeast swell 4 foot at 11-second period. So like I said, Friday might be your window of opportunity to get out there and have some fun. And obviously, guys that go out for the sailfish, they love those sporting conditions because that's what drives the fish up and makes them eat, is these fronts coming through. That's when the fronts come through. Ahead of the fronts, the sailfish bite is turned on. And then, of course, when the wind's blowing and the seas are nasty after. Saturday, again, sea 10 to 15 knots, seas 5 to 7. Sunday, not much more promising, seas 4 to 6, occasional 8. So, yeah, it's early next week, midweek, Tuesday into Wednesday, looking like a little bit of an opportunity. But the best we've got for that chance looks like Friday, if we are going to be able to at least even take a chance. And like I said, to keep a lookout over the next couple of days and see if it changes. It could be more promising. Our moon phase, right? If you have the opportunity to get out, good night to you from Brazil too. Today, if you had the opportunity, the moon and the tides were in your favor to try and get some wahoo. I've seen a few wahoo caught. Somebody caught one in shallow water, they said, out of BOCA, which if you're fishing that tide in this moon, that was the time to do it. All right, so right now, we are waxing, which means we're heading towards the full moon. We're going to have a full moon sometime this week, and then we will start waning. So right now, we are at 86%. Tomorrow, Wednesday, we're at 93%. Thursday, 98%. Friday, full moon. Okay? So Friday is the full moon. Not a particularly great time to go for wahoo, but not the best, not the worst. And again, your pelagic bite might slow down a little bit with that full moon. So it might be something to just keep in mind when it comes to your decision-making process, reef fishing versus trolling and going for the pelagics, right? What day was that? That's the 15th. So that's Friday. 12. Yeah, Friday, Saturday, 99%. We're starting to wane. Sunday, 95%. Monday, 89%. And into next week, Tuesday and Wednesday, right? We had talked about that window of opportunity you might be able to get out. So these are a few days after the full moon when, again, if you're a wahoo fisherman and you fish by the moon phase, that is, you'll have a good chance at that window of opportunity for you to open up. Now, considering it further, you have to also consider your water flow. So let's take a look at our tide charts and see what's happening there. We always like to fish these areas of water flow, which are inlets by the outgoing tide, which is right now. So today, right, you're in the middle of the outgoing tide. I've got to repeat this as usual. If you're fishing the inlet, if you're a land-based fisherman or you're fishing outside the inlet, that tide has to be going out. If the tide's raising, you're fishing for nothing. The tide has to go out. It pushes the sediment out. The bait fish come in, they eat the sediment, then the bigger fish come in and they eat the bait fish. That's how that works. Tomorrow, you're about a third of the way through the tide falling. Thursday, as day breaks, you're at the slack tide, okay? Friday, which is one of those days of the windows of opportunity that we had spoke about, you will have to give it a little bit of a chance to start pulling till about 8:30ish, when that tide starts really heading out offshore. You should still have light winds and seas that aren't too difficult to deal with. Saturday, you're at the end of the tide cycle, of the rising tide cycle, the incoming tide, which does no good for fishing the inlets. So just bear that in mind. That Friday might actually present that opportunity, and going into next week, we're only going to get further into this incoming tide. So again, your moon phase will be good for possible wahoo bite, but your tides for fishing outside the inlets and trying that water flow fishing stuff is not going to jive with what you're trying to do. So just bear that in mind. You'll want to be more structure oriented, more deep reef ledge fishing. Okay, that's what we got going on this week, folks. It's been fun. Another short one, and like I said, as the fishing picks up and the weather gets better, we will have some more opportunity to share what is really going on. But again, the smaller tuna, the skipjacks, the blackfins, a few scattered dolphin, and it's really going to turn into a little bit of reef fishing for those yellowtails, those serum mackerels, and the false albacore are, cutting you some slack right now, so you can go out and you can fish for the kingfish when you get an opportunity. All right, folks, before we sign off, I just want to say, hey, if you have not got one yet, go on to windfinder.com. Check the link out in the description. Get you some South Florida saltwater fishing merch. These are UPF 50 fishing shirts, hoods, gaiters, and built in. They're quick drying, and they keep you cool in the sun. And they got a nice little logo, South Florida Saltwater Fishing. Shameless plug. Go check them out from our sponsor, WindFinder. Some great guys, some great quality stuff there. And last thing before we shut off, folks, for the week, if you are on Facebook, want to say, hey, go and ask to join the South Florida Saltwater Fishing Report. Looks like this is what it looks like minus the date. Just answer a few questions. What's your favorite fish to catch, and do you agree with the rules? The rules are no spam, no fishing, selling stuff. I'm fairly lenient when it comes to it. I don't want to be that guy, but if something looks, if you're constantly saying, hey, let me detail your boat, come on, let's be for real about it. Try to, not post the YouTube videos. If you are a YouTuber, I promote your stuff for you. That's what we're here for, right? Just like Jason Reese, Google Pro Offshore, great guy, always submits photos and gives a little bit of info. Go check out his YouTube channel if you get a chance. Great stuff. Google Pro Offshore Angling. All right, that about does it for this week, folks. We will see you next Tuesday. It's been fun, sweet and short. Like I said, as the weather gets better, hopefully it'll get a little bit longer and we'll have some more stuff to show you. All right, till next Tuesday, folks. South Florida saltwater fishing, going wherever the cool wind takes us.